going on, guys? My name's Chris, and this is my Rebel 1100 that I've named Chaos right there. I painted all this myself. I painted the leather, I painted the plastics, the metal tank, the rear fender, everything. I got a lot of questions on how I painted all this. So I'm going to start showing everybody how you can paint your motorcycle at home. You don't have to paint it exactly like this. You could just do one color if you want. But if you follow this, the paint will never chip off, especially on the plastic and stuff, which is the hardest thing to paint. I'm going to be painting the Rebel 500. I'm not going to be painting the tank. I have a tank cover. There's just no reason to paint it if I have a tank cover. These have all been sanded down to the bare plastic and bare metal, simply because I painted these once before, and it was impossible to strip the paint off that I did. That's how well this works. So it took a while to strip it all off, but I got it all stripped out. We're down to bare metal, plastic, and this is what you want. It doesn't have to be bare metal and like this. You can go a little bit lighter. You just want to rough up the surface. You can use a 600 grit sandpaper. You can use a 320 just to kind of get the surface roughed up. You want a lot of crevices, basically, for the paint to be able to kind of like attach to. This way, it'll actually hold. If you just do it on a glossy surface, it's just going to chip right off. If you just do it on plastic without roughing it up, it's just going to chip right off. You need that little bit of roughness in it. This is basically what you're going to be needing. You need an adhesion promoter. All right, that's basically what bonds it to everything. This is especially needed for the plastics. Follow the directions. I'll show you how to do it. For the metal, use a self-etching primer. I still use this and then do that on top of it. For the plastics, I use this Rust-Oleum Primer Pro Grade, Ultimate Bonding. This mixed with this, nothing's coming off. Next, for the actual paint, I use graffiti paint. So I usually use Montana Black. However, Iron Lac was on sale, so I grabbed some of that. It works the same. And then 2K SprayMax, the Clear Glamour. This is what gives you that nice glossy finish, like you see here. So all of these things, I would suggest getting a respirator. Especially for the SprayMax 2K and the Adhesion Promoter, you cannot breathe these in. This I got from an actual auto paint supply store that's right by me. However, you can use Bulldog on Amazon Prime and stuff, or wherever you can get it. I think Advanced Auto might have it, but it works just as good. Don't get the cheap $20 can. If you see it on Amazon, it doesn't work good. You'll just be wasting your money and you'll have horrible results. I used that once on something else and the paint all chipped off the plastic. So if you're gonna do it, spend the money and do it right. You can see all this in here. You want to sand it, but then I also take it to a sink or outside with a hose if you want, and scrub it with a Brillo pad. And then sand it again, and then I clean it one more time with a Brillo pad and rinse it off and let it dry. The Brillo pad helps get all the oil and stuff like that off of it, but also the sanding, all the dust that's left on there. So there is no dust. I mean, I'm gonna have to brush these off once again just because they've been sitting in my garage for a little bit. But yeah, basically you wanna sand, take a Brillo pad, and scuff it up with the Brillo pad while washing it, making sure you wash everything off. And then you want to sand it again, and then wash it again. And then once it's all done, then you can get ready to begin putting the adhesion promoter on. So now we get our trusty respirator on. So this, you're going to put 2 to 3 coats on and wait 10 minutes in between each coat. And then you got to wait 20 to 30 minutes until you can put a primer on there. So 10 minutes between, and then 20 to 30 minutes. I usually wait 30 minutes before I put the primer on. Let's do it. Now we get to the primer. I put the second coat on already. It's been 30 minutes. Everything's dry. We're going to put the etching primer on the metal. This one will go on the metal fender. And if you're doing the tank, this is what you use for the tank. And this is what we will use for all the plastic. This dry overnight, and then we're going to sand it down, and then tomorrow we will start doing our actual painting. It is now day 2 and all of our primer is dry. I forgot that I had to do the chain guard, so I took that off the bike last night and sprayed that down off camera. So some pieces with the primer are a little rough. So you have to take 2000 grit sandpaper or something around there. What is this? This is 1000. I have 2000 somewhere. And basically just give it a light, there you go. Give it a light sanding, just so you can make it smooth again, so you don't have any of this. Because if you paint over this, you're just going to have rough paint. All right, so let's sand all that down, and then we'll get to painting. All right, now that everything is sanded, it's all nice and smooth. These are the 3 colors I'm going to be using for the bike. On the more hidden spots, I'll use the darker purple. As like an in-between, I'll use the magenta. And then for like lighter areas, I'll use the teal. Now, the first thing I have to do is I want this grill to be black again. So I have Montana black here, which is actually black. And I'm going to spray that in there and then let that dry so I can tape it off, and then I can spray the rest of it. I also want to mention that these paints are acrylic paints. They're not enamel. All the detailing is done. I didn't video this just because it's tedious and it's pretty self-explanatory. So you want to do all the black where the outlines are, and then just do white above it or next to it for highlights, kind of like you would with a comic book or a cartoon. There's different ways you can do this. This is more of like a cleaner look. As opposed to this, which is more of like a messy kind of look. You know, it's whatever you're going for. I went with the cleaner look for this bike. So now it's ready for clear coat. Let's get to it. You definitely want to wear a mask when you use this. The way this works is you pop this off, right? Take that off, and then this you insert down here and pretty much pop it down on the counter, smash it, and all the hardener releases into here. So first shake this by itself, give it like 1 or 2 minutes, and then after you shake it, pop this in, smash it on the counter, and then once that pops, then shake it for like another like 2 or 3 minutes. Alright, so take this and put it in here, give a little push, and then push down, and now that's broken. So now just mix it up for another couple of minutes. Alright, now when we do this, you want to do light layers. You don't want to go heavy with this. And you want to spray wet into wet. So basically spray until, like, you know, it gets to a certain point, and if you have to go to the other side, start at the top and then work your way back. So this way you're spraying wet into wet. Alright, and then you're going to notice that everything gets darker. So all the dull blacks and stuff like that will become deeper, they'll shine more, the whole thing will come together better. Alright, let's get to painting. So everything has the first coat now. It's looking good. This is the point where you let everything dry, and then you can see sometimes if you do this kind of style with the white, you have to go over it one more time. So I usually do that after I do the first coat of the top coat. So you can go over, see this here, and you can make it completely solid. You're gonna probably do, I don't know how many coats of this stuff. You keep going until it's shiny pretty much. You just take it little by little, and eventually it'll build up and you'll have a nice shiny coat on it. All right, let's just let this dry. Here she is, all finished. Got a nice shine to her. The bags, the mirrors. Here's the tank. Side panels, chain guard. These, I have another video on how I painted these. But there's the rear fender. And there's the other side of the tank. You can see my reflection in it. Everything's looking good. I'm going to add some more stuff to her. So if you want to see what I add, then just like and follow. And yeah, we'll have fun with this.